Ugly Puppets. It was titled Mr. Meaty and Teenagers, Josh and Parker, who worked at the titular fast food restaurant, getting shenanigans. The show was not received by vegetarians and parents who did not appreciate the abundance of meat and gross. It managed to introduce a gross amount of disturbing moments. The most infamous being the tapeworm in the episode Mooch Master P. off of Josh's lunch, much to his annoyance. He continues to mooch off of everyone in the food court until he has earned a title, the Mall Moocher. Run. The most infamous being the tapeworm Mooch Master P. The episode starts with Parker mooching off of Josh's lunch, much to his annoyance. Eating the raw burger. Parker finds that food is disappearing right before his eyes, before he can even eat it, as those disappear into thin air. Josh records Parker trying to eat, and then plays it back in slow motion, revealing that an enormous tapeworm is now living inside of his stomach. The two get the tapeworm out, yanking it from Parker's stomach and into his arm, where it writhes around chaotically.
Oi, penguins! That fish is mine! Oh, the excitement is giving me the tingles. Boris, scratch me here till the tingles go away.
Comes up and asks to buy it for a zoo. The boys agree, they hand it over to him, and then the man swallows it whole.
Interesting theory. Then whose nightmare is the giant waffle cone sundae? Flee for your lives! How can we be safe from Tooth Scopulon, the ice cream that walks like a man? Ah, yeah.
She told me yeah, go.
No.
It's 2 weeks in December.
Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Despite being named Wrath of the Krampus,
So then, last Saturday, she's like,
a missed opportunity.
we have news to tell you.
What it is, however, is a disturbing romp through an abandoned doll factory.
She's like, well,
Meat and gross out humor.
yeah.
The network received many petitions to end the show, which only short existence. Despite that, it managed to introduce a gross amount of disturbing its two-season run. Mr. P. The episode starts with Parker, much to his annoyance. He continues to mooch off of everyone in the food court until the Mall Moocher. He eventually stoops to the low level of eating the raw burgers they plan on serving to customers. However, strange things begin occurring after eating the raw burger. Parker finds that food is disappearing right before he can even eat it. He's unable to deliver food orders either, as slow motion, revealing that an enormous tapeworm is now living inside of his stomach. Thanks to the raw burger he ate. The two get the tapeworm out, yanking it from Parker's stomach and into his arm, where it writhes around chaotically.
Home for your lives!
And that wasn't even my fiance's grandfather's wishes.
I feel a lot better knowing Dennis and Joey are involved in a nice safe sport, like tobogganing.
I feel the
Despite being named Wrath of the Krampus, this is not a Christmas episode of Missed Opportunity. What it is, however, is a disturbing romp through an abandoned doll factory.
I'm really gonna have you score 0.
Shaggy calls it uber creepy, which is an understatement given that the factory is full of ultra-realistic, clashing with the show's simple and cartoony art style.
With the dude bunny.
Season 3 of Jimmy Neutron was where things started to get weird. Not that it wasn't weird by an alien chicken dragon, for fuck's sake. But it wasn't weird before. The movie had a giant alien, but the tone of the show for Spinal in particular that highlights this tonal change is in the episode which starts with Sheen telling Jimmy and Carl about a new show that he's been watching called The Happy Show Show. And they all should watch it because it'll make them happy. Jimmy ignores his computer like Photoshop him and his crush's heads. However, Sheen is relentless and will not stop bothering Jimmy to watch the show.
Oh, Treehouse, you're such a great friend. So much funnier than unfunny old Discord. No, here. Take my last one.
Because it's just that bad. And quickly, the next day at school, all the kids are desperately trying to get Jimmy to give it another chance. Betty with him. But as he heads over to her house that night, advertising people. Soon, the entire town is after Jimmy, trying to force him to watch a show. Luckily, Cindy, who...
Whatever should we do, Twilight? How do we stop the disaster if we don't know what it is? We'll just have to work together to make sure we're safe. Right?
So it's like, yes. It's just like,
We'll be. Come on, future Spike. Let's get you home.
I'm Cheryl with Sharon. I was like, oh. I'm a nice boy.
Season 3 of Jimmy Neutron was where things started to get weird. Not that it wasn't weird before. The movie had a giant alien chicken dragon, for fuck's sake.
And you walk in,
But
you walk up this
the
giant
tone of the
steps,
show, for even by its own standards. One moment in particular that highlights this tonal change is in the episode One of Us. Of Us. The episode starts with Sheen telling Jim a show that he's been watching called The Happy Show Show.
It is to be brilliant. I can't lose.
by Shirley Bassey.
Usually
What's his name?
Jimmy ignores it and goes to do some weird prepubescent stuff on his computer, like Photoshop him and his and quickly puts it out of his mind. The next day at school, all the kids are desperately trying to get Jimmy to give it another chance. Betty asked him to come over and watch it with him. But as he heads over to her house that night, he sees her watching through the window and reading people. Soon, the entire town is after Jimmy, trying to force him to watch the show. Luckily,
Out the wrong room! Don't freak. You just need a little time.
Okay, what do we know so far?
Before we begin, I wish to offer an extra prize to the winner of the contest.
Grandma Taters to put an end to this.
Barbecue, like, bring them to a square, barbecue on it, and then
Messy.